If you would indulge me, males, take a look at your female counterparts. All right, that's long enough. Females, please take a look at your male counterparts. Do you see any differences? I'll answer that. The answer is yes. There are differences between male and females. Yet, through miraculous modern-day medicine, medical professionals are able to change one's gender to become transgender. Still, there's uniformity in our differences. And there should be uniformity across all sports to allow transgender athletes to participate in multiple sports. I've read and watched articles, journals, and interviews such as Sonia Twigg from The Independent, Harry, Molly, and Mary and Ellen Graves from the Sociology of Sport Journal, and WKRN News 2 on YouTube, which helped me formulate my opinion on the matter of transgender athletes in sports. In the next few minutes, I will discuss first the problems with current policies, second, my plans to resolve the current policies, and third, what I envision my plans to bring about. The current policies are problematic because each sport is allowed to adjust their rules, making it difficult for transgender athletes to participate in multiple platforms of sports. Currently, there is no uniformity in guidelines for transgender athletes to follow. Each state has their own set of rules for high school transgender athletes to participate. In August 2023, Katie Barnes of ESPN stated, since 2020, 23 states have passed laws restricting transgender athletes' ability to participate in school sports in accordance with their gender identification. Barnes adds, the laws vary from state to state, creating a patchwork legal landscape for transgender student athletes wanting to participate in school sports. Additionally, each sport has different rules for transgender athletes competing. In April 2024, Sonia Twigg wrote, women were banned from playing in international competitions by World Netball. She also added, the International Olympic Committee policy permits each sporting authority to set its own regulations. Each school district has its own policies. Ballerina Aluwalia from Fine Law said on January 2025, transgender athletes face complex legal landscapes regarding their participation in sports, influenced by varying laws and policies. Influenced by varying laws and policies across jurisdictions, competition levels, and sports types. The following is a bulletin from the LA School District defining transgender. Transgender, an umbrella term used to describe people whose gender ID is different from the gender they were assigned at birth. Some individuals don't choose any form of medical transition. Now that I've discussed the problems of current policies, which is no uniformity in guidelines for transgender athletes, let me discuss my second main point, which is my satisfying plan. My plan to solve this problem is a good replacement policy for the current ones. My suggested policy will require enlisting the help of every one of you. We need to come to a consensus so that transgender participants in sports is uniform in all sports. We need to do this, I will create focus groups and online surveys to gather information on the population as to where the most draw the line for transgender athletes' participation. I will need your help creating focus groups throughout the US. I could gather help by using social platforms such as Facebook and Instagram. Online surveys could be distributed through social networks as well. I will use the information to create a clear and concise consensus on what the majority of the population deem acceptable to unify the rules. After creating a consensus, we would need to create a petition to send to your local assembly member. This needs to happen in every state, so we would need to orchestrate a date to submit these petitions. This process will take time to create and submit, but if we stick to it, it can happen. The wheels of change turn slow, but they do turn. Follow through and follow up with your local politicians to ensure we are being heard and this movement happens. This would mean contacting your local assembly member to push the change in state legislation. For Eagle Rock, California, you can contact Jessica Caloza, a Democratic Assembly member at State Capitol, P.O. Box 942-8849, Sacramento, California 94249, TAC 0052, or call 916-319-2052. I can give you that information at the end of this if you so want it. Each head of each sports agency would need to be contacted from the NFL through the UFC. This means contacting people like Roger Goodell and Dana White. This will require another huge coordinated effort from all of us. Remember, we're trying to unify the rules so transgender athletes can compete in multiple platforms. In my first main point, I have discussed the problems of the current policies, which is no uniformity in guidelines for transgender athletes. In my second main point, I offered the details of my plan to solve the problem, which is contacting the people in charge. In my third main point, let me tell you why my plan, which is to unify and simplify all sports and schools' policies on transgender athletes, will be beneficial and practical. If we continue to allow some sports to allow transgender players while other sports don't, we continue to feed the very thing we want to solve, which is disharmony. In addition to solving disharmony, we get closer to solving discrimination. Let us try to be all-inclusive. Trans athletes who want to participate across multiple platforms can do so because only one set of rules would need to be met to qualify for, say, wrestling and dancing. Children wouldn't have to decide so early in life if they want to switch genders, because some agencies require that they be 12 years old before they switch. In conclusion, it'll take a lot of teamwork, but we can unify the standards to allow transgender athletes to participate on multi-platforms in sports. In my speech, I covered the following main points, namely, first, the problem with current policies. Secondly, my plans to resolve the current policies. And finally, what I envision my plans to bring about. Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, and Jim Thorpe. They were all able to play in multiple sports. Who else can we add to this unique list? I'm asking for your help to decide where we draw the line. I urge you to get online and spread the news, to fill out my survey, and to unify the rules for transgender athletes. Please help me contact the heads in charge so this movement can head up and out.